such a pleasure to know that so many of you guys listen to us tonight in Accra and Ghana, and those who listen to us in Nigeria, and those who listen to us also in Zanzibar, and of course in Dar es Salaam. I want to welcome everybody listening to us on social media as well. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Our rap show, remember, it's every Wednesday in English and every Friday as well. And we want to thank you so much. This is your captain, as I like to call myself, right? AKA DJ RM. Of course, we're taking off tonight with some great music, but also some guests, and also a subject of the week, because we are talking about the root or the causes of traffic jams in Africa, because so many people are writing to us say, well, there's traffic, Roger, in my city, in my town. I don't know what's the problem. Is that, that can cause a lot of problem, economical development as well. So many things. So we should find some solutions to reduce traffic jams in Africa and African cities. So we'll talk about that as well, but we'll also have my guest who's an author of a book. He'll come to tell us about his book, and we can have some questions also for him. And so in this show will be Mr. Gideon Saidi, and also George will be with us. But first we'll take off with some music as we do. Do not forget, if you listen to us tonight, guys, to send us a message on +1 703 350 3731. Again, it's +1 703 350 3731 to join us. Or if you have a question or you want to, say something, do not hesitate to call us. Or if you want us to call you, we can also call you to participate on the show and tell us what you think about what we're talking about. If we're talking about traffic jams in your city, in your country, if you want to talk, you have a question for our guests, do not hesitate. Great music. We take it off with Flawless, Beyonce, and Nicki Minaj.
Lanka. I told him meet me at the Trump Ivanka.
You're listening to the RM show at VOA Africa. This is your host, Roger Muntu. If you listen to us right now, just know that I thank you so much for staying tuned. Every Wednesday, listen to this show straight from Washington, D.C. That was flawless. Beyonce and Nicki Minaj. You know that must be an amazing, amazing team. Let me welcome my guest here first. George, it's always good to have you. I know it's always hard to get a hold of you, but when you come to this show in English, RM show, it's always a pleasure to have you, man.
You know, thank you, Roger.
You're so hard to
Thank you for having me. And, you know, I love Wednesday. You know why?
Why?
Because of RM show in English.
Oh, really?
I do love
you do?
this segment.
You're not
show.
just saying that to...
no, I'm serious.
To just make me happy.
No, I want to make the listeners happy, and that's why I'm going to, greet those listening to us from Kinshasa to Mbandaka, and also in Ghana.
Don't forget our friend listen to us in Ghana.
Yeah, Accra,
in Nigeria, in
Takoradi,
in
Kumasi.
Kumasi,
yeah, Accra, of course.
Those who are listening to us also in
Conakry, in
Zerekore, but most of those Anglophone countries, they are tuned right now. And I'm talking about Harare, Zimbabwe, in
Tanzania,
Zambia,
Dar es Salaam, Nairobi,
Zanzibar,
all
those places.
And Sudan, South Sudan.
South Sudan. They all listen to us.
Yeah,
they all listen to us right now. And sometimes they write to me, they're like, Roger, you did not say hello to us. So it's always good to...
we say hello to you guys.
Think about those guys. Yeah. But let me ask you this first question quickly before I introduce my guest. This week, the question that one person sent us, I think it was from Sudan, it was the root causes of traffic jams in Africa. And, talking about infrastructure, urbanizations and economic development. They were really much asking, Roger, we need to talk about some innovative solutions, right, to reduce traffic jams in Africa. So many reasons why the traffic there becomes crazy, and people try to understand why all this traffic.
I have a great solution for you.
You already have a solution?
Yes.
First, before we get a solution, what is the problem?
The problem?
Yeah.
Technology is to blame.
Oh, really?
Development, yes.
Okay.
Let's go back to the beginning of life. The first human being were, discovered in Africa. You know that, right? In Egypt, ancient Egypt. So, I always say that, look at today, even in Washington, sometimes we have issues here. Look at in the district. Washington is a small city.
It's a small city. Washington,
we have
DC,
less than we have less than 1 million.
Yeah.
Okay. The population is less than 1 million. So in Washington, you cannot drive. We have buses. We have all those.
You have the metro.
Federal,
you have trains.
The civil servant. We are here. All the federal, bureaus,
right.
And so more, and museum, everything.
Right.
And so most of the time, there's a traffic jam.
Yeah.
Every morning when we are coming to work, I'll call you. Sometimes I'm laughing when I say, "Oh, I'm in the traffic." From Eric, from Dilly, from Michelle. I will be in around 10. I'm in the traffic.
Right.
It's because of this crazy stuff. Everybody is coming to DC instead of getting out from DC. So why I'm saying that the technology to be blamed, because we are so developed today, and we should put the solution, put everybody to telework. Let's work from home. We will save
You're
the environment.
moving too fast with this solution, man.
We will save the environment.
That is true.
Yes.
Talking about environment.
Yeah, come on. During the COVID, the environment was so clean and so quiet outside. When you were going to the park, it was empty because everybody was scared to go.
Yeah.
Everybody was out. No, I don't want to get there.
Right.
Even to go to the backyard.
But I'm saying, okay, so you're giving that solution. Do you think that work in Africa?
Yes. We have to.
How will people telework in Africa?
No, the solution in Africa, let's go by foot. Let's use our foot like we used to do before the colonization, before the.
You think that's a solution?
The European civilization came. Yeah, that will reduce traffic, man, and it's healthy. Why here in the DC, in the developing, in the developed world, sometimes we say, okay, you go to the doctor say, take a walk. Because we use too much train. If you're not using trains, you will take a cab, you will drive, you will have your bike, you eat at home, you sit down, and you get the big belly, and then the next day, all the money you have earned, you will go to the doctor. So it is a win-win business, okay? In Africa, because people they love to work. You go to the farm, buy food. You are working your farm. You can eat any time, and you will be still healthy. But here, I have some colleagues here, man. When I see the people, I say, "Oh my goodness." Let's walk. Take a walk, man.
I see where you're taking
Yeah,
us.
park your car.
Park your car and just take your
walk.
bike or something.
Yeah,
Take it,
even
George.
the bike, not all the time. Sometimes the bike, yeah.
Stay with us. Let me introduce my guest, the one and only Gédéon Sangwa Saidi, who wrote this book. I don't know if our camera can get as close as they can. I don't know. But this is the book that we're going to talk about. And my guest tonight is Gédéon Saidi, who wrote this book, How to Define Yourself, a tool for personal development, empowering you to pursue your dream and transform them into tangible reality. This is a guide to propel you from your current circumstances toward the next level of personal and professional growth to aspire to achieve. This is amazing. And you know what we do, George, when our guest comes, what we do is clap our hands. Bravo for our guest, Mr. Gédéon Sangwa Saidi. It's an honor, it's a privilege to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for giving us this time. Before we move on to this amazing, our camera can see the book much better like this amazing book that I have in front of me. It's pretty big, man. God, how long is it going to take me to read?
I like the cover.
I like that. It's really awesome. But Gédéon, before we get to this amazing masterpiece, that's the word I was looking for. Tell us about our subject of the week when we're talking about traffic jams. I don't know how often do you travel for your work. You grew up in the DC area. You live here. You guys also have traffic jams here. But in Africa in particular, people keep telling us that traffic jams become a serious problem. And
Yes.
that's even creating some economical problems as well. What's your take on that?
I think it's a great problem in Africa, and I'm glad that you brought that issue. Just more of a couple of years ago, I was in Kinshasa myself, and the first time I went back to Kinshasa. Driving was really crazy. It was
don't know how you did
really
that.
a big problem.
I can imagine.
So, I remember back then when I was in Kinshasa, I used to drive,
Yes.
but it was really easy,
Yeah.
smooth.
Yeah.
Everything was really
Yeah.
smooth. The
Right.
traffic, I could drive easily. But when I went back, it was
Yeah.
really
It
crazy.
was
The first
completely
time,
new, right?
the first time I could not drive at all. And then when through everything, I needed to move around and all that, so I had to get on the road.
But let me ask you this: what changed? Why was it hard for you to drive? What did you notice that? Whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, so there are a few things.
Yeah.
The first thing, I think it was just more of I guess because I've been outside the country for a long time.
That's correct.
And when I went back, it's just that things were not really the same as here. And so there is that aspect of it. And there's also another aspect that I came across was that the traffic, I had to respect the traffic, the traffic light. So that was another issue where I had to face.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I was trying to understand what's going on.
Right.
And I remember one day I was at I came across the traffic light, and I came to a complete stop. And the light was yellow.
Yeah.
So I come to a complete stop, and beside that, behind me, people were behind me just passing by. And
Right.
that was really crazy. I was like, what's going on here? So there's that. And I think also there's the issue about the demographic.
True.
So people are moving from the rural area to the big city. So that's another thing
that can change a lot of
yes,
things.
that's another thing that
Yeah.
I discovered,
Yeah.
and that really brought a lot of. You have a traffic jam because of that. So there are a lot of aspects of it, and there's another thing about the infrastructure that has not been developed yet. And so we still are working on that, but we still.
And this
we're
is
still there,
and what you're saying goes across Africa. This is not just in Kinshasa, as you're saying, but this is what I hear in so many countries in Africa as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in Ghana. I don't know how it is in Tema. I don't know how it is in Sudan. If you guys are listening to us, please send us a message. +1 703 350 3731. Tell us what you think. Tell us how it goes at your place right now, and we will read your messages as well. And I want to go ahead and say hello because I see some friends from Ghana listening to us. Julius in Accra in Ghana is listening to us, and we send hello to Serge, who's listening to us. Mike is listening to us, and in Ouagadougou, Nufu Bargo's listening to us as well, and this is great. But Gédéon, quickly, and we're gonna be talking about this amazing book that George loved the cover.
Yeah,
he
the
said,
cover, yeah.
but to me, it's more than the cover. When we were getting ready for this show, George and I and Michelle that you see over there on the other side, our colleague,
Yes.
we really love the title, How to Define Yourself. George, when I told him about this book, he said, Roger, that's philosophical. That is, yeah, that's what he told me this morning
Yes.
at 10 o'clock. He was like, this is great.
Yes.
But this is amazing, empowering yourself to pursue. First of all, what really motivated you to write a book about how somebody should define themselves?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I think it came about my personal journey. I think some you know that I come from the DRC in Congo. So moving from a DRC to US, and it was just for me. You're just the guy who's used to speak French and then move to a new country. For me, it was really a new territory. I had to learn everything from scratch, and the English that I knew I guess when I learned in high school, it was all gone. So the first steps that the first time I moved in the U.S. is just more of everything was gone. So I needed to learn more about myself and trying to discover myself. So looking at the culture here in America, it was completely different from what is back home, or we have back home. So for me, it felt like I was drinking from the fire holes.
Right.
So you move around, everything is English. You move around, and how people are speaking is just more different.
So fast.
I figure out how do I merge into this new culture? So how do I define myself? So that's how the book came about.
That's how the book comes. Yeah, you were going to add something.
Yeah, I mean, you merge. I would like to say you merge very well because you are notary public. That's what I learned from you. You have a firm, a law office, something like that. Do you work in?
Well, I am a public notary.
Public notary, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's is more focus. My focus is more in the mortgage industries, where I help also mortgage borrowers.
So if I buy a house, you're the one to help me out. So
no, I don't.
Next time you buy another house, George, I know you already bought your villa, but next time you want to buy another one.
Yeah. So I help a lot of borrowers to sign their documents.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you go, you basically
because when you go to the bank, it's very difficult to have those kind of paper. Sometimes you have to go to your bank. They want to check.
Sometimes they'll send you to someone like you.
Yes.
Yeah. So the way it works, I've worked in the mortgage industry for almost 15, 20 years now, 10 years now. So I work for Fannie Mae, I work for Freddie Mac as well, and those are the secondary mortgage, secondary mortgage market. So the process of the mortgage itself it goes in this way. So an individual will go to the bank to require a loan, and when the bank gives you a loan, then the bank turn around and get that money, that basically the loan or your mortgage, which you call an asset, they sell it to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. And Freddie Mac turn around and Fannie Mae get those assets and sell it to the third party, basically to the investors.
Okay.
So the reason they do that so that they can supply more money in the market, so the bank can have more money, can lend lend money to more people.
To more people.
So and the banker now, the if you want to circle back to that, so the banker become the servicer of the Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. And Fannie Mae helps also basically work for the investors. So that's how the process works.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, sound Chinese to me, but that's okay.
Exactly. Okay, that was my fault. let's
you better not answer that question again. Let's get back to it. Yes. Here's my question. Can you share some principle, key strategies from your book that actually readers can apply to their journey or of self-discovery, or personal development?
So what I really wanted to emphasize was more of on the importance of resilience. So when you face life, you will meet a lot of challenges. You will meet a lot of setbacks. So you have to understand that setbacks are not really roadblocks. Those are our opportunity to grow. So you will need to know how to use those setbacks, use all those struggles that you go through in order to advance in life. So most people just more of when go through those storms, and then just sit back. You don't learn from it. I think the point is we have to understand what the lesson that you're trying to get out of this process that you're going through. So if you go through any process or you go through any or whatever situation that you might be facing.
Correct.
So if you go through that process, you learn through those struggle, you understand why you went through that, and then you get the lesson learned out of it. And that lesson learned, that's what you use to move forward. And it becomes which propel you to grow in your life and a personal life, and also even a personal development.
Even a personal development.
Yes.
Do you want to add to
Yeah,
that?
when I'm listening to you, thank you so much for
Anytime.
Gideon for bringing me writing this book. It's a very good book. If I define myself, the question to answer your question, I define myself as human being first, as a father, as a head of family, as a civil servant, because I do work here for the government, and we are Voice of America. But when we go deep, I could say that I define myself as also a leader, because I could say I was born to lead. And as you all know, a leader is not a manager. A leader is not a supervisor.
Yes.
It's someone who can, through him we can achieve something. Someone who can help others to achieve, the dreams, the project that they have. So,
Yes.
If I get to you correctly, before you write this book, you were already defined as Gideon, as a human being. But because you went through so much
Yes.
struggles, schools, a lot of things, social life, maybe it could be, if I want to say this, for me, I could say, redefine yourself. Because when you redefine yourself, you say, okay, this is the path I'm going to follow. This
Yes.
is my way, not the highway. So, so what's, if I can ask you that question today,
Yes.
how do you define yourself?
Well, that's actually a good question. In the book, I mentioned that define yourself is not just a goal you wanted to reach. It's a life. It's a lifelong journey. It's a journey that you have to go through. So you can say, today I learned a little bit about a mortgage, as we discussed a little bit about mortgage, but that's in the past. And the thing is about defining yourself, you don't rely yourself on the success of yesterday. So if you rely on the success of yesterday, then you're talking about the things of the past. So you use the success of yesterday, you use the struggle of yesterday, and to move forward to know how to make your next move in the future. So, and I mentioned also in the book that those who really rely on the past, on the success of the yesterday, the success of the past are the failure of today. So you need to learn what happened yesterday, what did you do, and then use that to move forward. Because in the world that we live in today, it's a very I can say it's a Shark Tank today. Because if let's say you invented something yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you that the next day you will have maybe more than 10 people will come with the same product in the market, just try to compete against you. And so if you rely on that same success that you had yesterday, then tomorrow you're not going to have any job. You're not going to have anything whatsoever. So you have to constantly try to upgrade yourself.
Innovate.
Yeah, we see that today in the world of technology. So we see that every year an iPhone comes. So back to your question, say, defining yourself, you have to define yourself every day.
Every
it's like
day.
redefine yourself.
Yeah, an everyday thing.
Exactly.
You were mentioning the importance of resilience, right? You mentioned it earlier, and perseverance also in overcoming obstacles. But how do you address the balance, right, between setting ambitious goals, as you're saying right now, and staying grounded in reality, especially for readers who may feel overwhelmed by the enormity of dreams? How do they balance things?
Well, there's one thing that I also mentioned in the book
In the
too.
book,
So
yeah.
you will find out there are a lot of strategy in the
Yeah.
book. So
that's great.
As I mentioned, it's really a guide.
Yeah, so there's
it's-
many strategies that
Yes,
somebody
it's not
can follow.
Yeah, it's not a quick solution.
Yeah.
So first of all, it's not a quick solution that you can say, oh yeah, I'll go
I
through the
got
book
this,
and then
yeah,
all
I'm
that,
done.
and then
Yeah.
I'm done. No,
Right.
it's a journey, and not only that, it's just more of when you're going through the struggle, you're going through the adversity. So you will find there are times that where you have a doubt, you will be overwhelmed with doubt and uncertainty. Yes, but at the same time, you have to go back to yourself in a sense of what really push you to do what you're trying to do. And I mentioned one of my mentor. Well, I have a lot of mentors that I mentioned in the book as well, from professional side and also my personal side, my personal life as well. I have a lot of mentors, and I mentioned a little bit about them in the book. So they say that you have to know your why. Everything you want to do something, you have to know the why. Why you're doing something. Why you have to know your why, the reason behind that you're doing something. So once you understand that, regardless of what circumstances you might be in, you will know how to get yourself out of it.
Wow. We're coming back with more questions. Let's continue with our show. Thank you so much. This is a big lesson, but first let's go to the news of the day.
So what's going on with Nikki Strong? Beyonce's Cowboy Carter became Spotify's most streamed album in a single day in 2024, the first time a country album holds that honor this year. It also has the most first-day streams for a country album by a female artist in Amazon Music history. From church and community events to wearing bunny ears, celebrities took to social media to show how they observe the Easter holiday. Justin and Hailey Bieber, for example, posted a picture of 2 large chocolate eggs with their names on them. Ciara and Russell Wilson posted a picture of their family wearing white with the message, "Thank you, Jesus, for the greatest sacrifice." Nicki Minaj has teamed up with Lokai to launch her first sneaker line. It will include 11 designs and be released on April 12th on LOKAIWear.com, LOCIWEAR.com.
And that's what's going on with Nikki Strong.
Baby, you a song.
You're listening to the RM Show with View Africa. This is your host, Roger Muntu, and my guest tonight is Mr. Gideon Sangwa Saidi, who comes to tell us about his book, How to Define Yourself, a tool for personal development, a guide to propel you from your current circumstances toward the next level of personal and professional growth you aspire to achieve. And a segment here, Gideon, the book, I think it's on page 83, says unlocking the power of relationship, right? A pivotal, I'm reading now, a pivotal aspect of the journey to define yourself is unlocking the power of relationship. For some fortunate individuals, defining oneself may involve a simple phone call or email to a relative or an old friend, propelling them into a realm of abundance, of opportunities.
Yes.
Just a phone call, if I understand, can change your life.
Exactly. Definitely. So I guess you make the point I wanted to really highlight
Yes.
on that is
Yes.
just more of everyone lives different ways, and everyone has a connection. Some people don't, and some people do have a connection, some don't.
Some don't.
So we can be sitting here, and if you want something, and just a simple phone calls, and you will be on the next position. So there is that, and there is other people who are so unfortunate in the sense of, for them to get to that level, to get that position, you have to go through hoops, a lot of hoops, and hopefully, and that's you praying that you will get it. But you might go through the hoops and all these challenges, but at the end, I say, I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, my
so
God.
It's just to tell the readers that let that not be a stopple.
Okay.
Let that
Yeah.
position,
Yeah.
if you see someone else who has that position,
That is right.
that position, do not be afraid of that. So just go
And
for
don't
it.
let that into you. Be like, okay, it's not.
No,
I'm done.
You've got to continue. I mean, the life that we live in today is a fight. You have to fight every day. You have to fight.
That's a part
every
of the book
single
too.
day.
It's keep on,
Keep on
encouraging
moving.
people. You got to keep on fighting.
Keep on moving every single day. Yes.
Michelle, what is Nick said? I want to ask you, Gideon, our engineer. Our engineer say something like reinventing yourself. Does the book also kind of like mention in that sense? Because that's what Nick is saying on the other side, reinventing yourself.
Well, it's part of it.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. Yeah, I can see that in the book as well.
Right.
Because the thing is, you have to know. So I highlighted in the book as well, in the sense of just you have to know first. You have to know your ground, where
Yes.
you're standing on.
Yes.
You have to know your status. You have to know your capability. So once you have to know yourself first, discover who you are first. Once you discover yourself, you know your weaknesses. I wrote about that in the book as well. You know your weaknesses. You know your strength.
That's
You
a
know
good
your
to start.
flaws. And once you know all that, then there are other strategies. There are other people who do, in a sense of, let's say we embark into a business or something. I know my flaws, I know my weaknesses, and I will go find someone who is really strong in my weakness area, and that person will be my right-hand man. And together we'll go together and achieve what we're trying to achieve. So that's why
That's leadership.
Yes.
That's what leadership is.
That's why I defend myself when from the beginning I said, hey.
When he's talking, I see you. That's
Yeah,
leadership.
this book is deep.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a really leadership book.
Yeah, it's a really leadership book.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what I want to, the question I want to ask you, do you think that, most of the time when I hear about resilience, it's those people, somebody talking about the resilience is someone who has been, who's coming far away. He has, went through a lot of things, struggles, difficulties, So how do you define yourself today? Are you on the top of the tree, or you are still trying to find your way, or you already found your way?
Well, defining my way, I think, is just more of, let me go back to that.
Because I know that you are IT. You work on IT also. You are you are the domain. You are technology.
Yes.
And you are mortgage. And then today you
He does it all.
So so
He does it all.
So
Yeah.
where do you stand?
So that's actually a question that I'm still, let me say, I'm still trying to define myself on that. Because, yes, what I realized that we have so much potential.
Okay. Yes.
And so we,
that.
as a human, we have so much potential, and we cannot just simply define ourselves and say, "Hey, that's an IT guy."
Okay.
But beside IT, being an IT guy,
You'll be a manager. I saw that.
yeah, you have also the potential of leading people. You also have the potential for go fishing. You also have the potential. So basically, you have so much to give.
Right.
It's just how you define yourself. So you don't want to just stuck on one thing. So you have
Categorize
more
yourself.
potentials to do a lot of things that you can give to the world. So it's just not one thing. Yes, I am in the mortgage industry. I am
Right.
an IT guy. Today I'm the writer.
You're a writer,
I'm
you're
an
a writer.
author
Yes,
today.
exactly.
So maybe tomorrow I don't know who I'm gonna
be a
be
basketball
tomorrow.
player.
You might be a YouTuber, you know?
A basketball player.
Yeah.
Opportunity are endless.
Very good.
So so that's why we
That's a
have
very
to
good
look
answer.
that's how we have to look at this book and how I want the reader to understand about this book in the sense of you can define yourself in so many ways in so many categories. So yeah.
You mentioning Gideon in the book again. Time to update your dream.
Yes.
The journey of life unfold as a series of chapters, right? Each marked by dreams and aspiration propelling us forward.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Time to update your dreams. So I mentioned that earlier in the sense of most people, what I realize, I guess, is just we always trying to sit back to what we've accomplished or what's in front of us and what we can do. But at the same time, we know that the pioneer of yesterday or a bit of pioneer of tomorrow, they are the ones that continue to develop themselves every single day. In a sense of the seat that I mentioned in the book, like the seat that we're sitting on right now. If someone thought about it and then say, yeah, I can really try to get something where I can really sit in comfortably. And I mentioned also in the book, someone look at the birds and they said, oh yeah, how can I fly also? You know, I can fly also in the air. And today we have an airplane. So you have those things that you constantly have. I think you have the capability. Those are the words I was looking for. You have the capability to do far beyond what you are your mind conceive. So there's also another saying that whatever your mind conceive, you can achieve. So there are so many things that where we sometimes get to the point where an idea will pop up in your head, and once you have that idea, and you just you sit on it, and well, maybe I can say maybe 3 years down the road, you see somebody else came up with the same idea and developed it, and then you're like, whoa, that
You're
was
like,
my
that was
idea.
my
That
idea,
was
dude."
my idea.
But you didn't do anything with it.
Exactly. So that's what you have to constantly update your dreams. So, and the dreams comes to us in a sense of an idea. It pop up in your head, and you develop your dreams also based on your environment that you are in.
So what's your next dream?
Then my next dream,
Yes.
oh, that would be discovered later on.
Michelle Joseph, what is your dream? You must have dreams. Don't stop dreaming. You heard from the author.
Yes.
I'm going to keep on pushing Michelle not to stop dreaming. We got to keep on dreaming. Yeah, we all got to keep on dreaming. That's what I'm just learning.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't stop. This is great.
Yeah,
Really, we have a lot.
I have a question, Roger.
Yeah,
if
please
you
go.
can
No,
allow
no,
me.
please
yeah.
go.
Yeah, this book is, as we said from the beginning, is a philosophical book. And do you think about translating into French or other languages? Because in French, for instance, or Lingala, I know you're from
Yeah,
Congo.
because this
Yes.
guy doesn't
Yeah.
speak good English. I want you to-
No, I mean our kids back home in Africa, from
Yes.
francophone countries, they will love to read the book, but
Yes.
it's in English.
Yes.
Do you think about translating into English or other languages, African languages like Lingala, to get more audience?
So yeah, that's another process that I'm still working with my editor, because the first thing is just I wanted to come up with the English version. The English version is first is the language that I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
I'm comfortable in, and working with my editor and see what we can come up with next. So it's still in the process, and we'll figure out what will come next. And once that is out, we will let you know.
Are you planning to take a tour here in America to promote your book?
Oh yeah,
or you already
we are doing that now. So we had the official release of the book was 3 weeks ago. It was a really a great success. and we sold a lot of
I
copies.
can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
We sold a lot
Yeah.
of copies, and so we have we've been invited also to 2 events in North Carolina.
Okay.
And in Maryland, there are also 3 events that we've been
Perfect.
invited to.
Yeah, see?
So
So the book is doing great.
and the book is doing great, and it's also available at Amazon.
Amazon as well, right?
And people are purchasing books also at
How
Amazon.
much is it in Amazon for those?
Yeah, it's
listeners?
about 20. Well, on Amazon is $19.99, so $20.
Is that a Kindle version as well?
Yes, there is also
there's a
Kindle
Kindle
version.
version.
And
Yes.
audio version as well?
Right.
Audio version, not yet.
Not yet.
Not
yeah.
yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is a
Yes.
great book. Stay with us. We'll continue now. Let's listen more news by after Lady DJ. That's right, Lady DJ now.
VOA. You're tuned in to the Voice of America. I'm Shauna Renee, the Lady DJ. You can find me on Twitter at VOA Lady DJ, and this is Word on the Tweets. The tweets are talking about Billie Eilish, who took to Instagram to make it clear she wasn't singling out anyone when she mentioned her concern about artists releasing multiple vinyl variants. She called it wasteful in a Billboard magazine interview. Billie, who is a staunch environmentalist, said the issue is industry-wide and systemic and that everyone, including her, should try to do better. The tweets are also talking about Selena Gomez, who is taking her cooking show on the road after 4 seasons of the HBO Max show Selena and Chef, which was shot in her kitchen. She's joining some of the best chefs in the game on their own turf. Selena and Kitchen debuts with back-to-back episodes on the Food Network and Max May the 2nd. And finally, just a week after Lizzo announced she was working on new music, she posted a message on Instagram expressing her frustration with, quote, being dragged by everyone in her life and on the internet, end quote. She ended the message with, I quit. What she's quitting remains to be seen. For more information on these stories and others, you can find me across social media at VOA Lady DJ1. That's all for now. Until next time, peace.
Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? Yeah, it's taking a toll on me. Trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I lose control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not next to me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me. Problematic. Problem is I want your body like a fiend, like a bad habit. Bad habits hard to break when I'm with you. Yeah, I know I can do it on my own, but I want that real full moon black magic, and it takes two. Problematic. Problem is when I'm with you, I'm an addict, and I need some relief. My skin and your teeth can't see the forest through the trees. Got me down on my knees, darling, please. Oh, I lose control when you're not next to me. I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not here with me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
You're listening to the RM Show at VOA Africa, and we want to thank you so much. You're listening to some great songs and, of course, great music, as you always do. And my guest today, our guest is Gédéon Sangwa Saidi, an author of the book, How to Define Yourself. Gédéon, this is such an amazing book, and I'm reading actually in the back. I mean, George won this book. Don't take my book, man. This is my show. This is my book. I'm being greedy. Reading in the back of the book, it says how to define yourself is it's meant to ignite the flame, right? And to inspire people. Let me just ask you in a simple term, what do you want to achieve by writing this book? Somebody who's reading it, what do you want them to, at the end, to get out of this book?
That's actually a good question. What I really want to understand, I guess what I really want the reader to understand is that in life, every step that you make, regardless of how small it is, but you have to continue to move on. Because through struggle, through difficulties, and when you go through that process, that's how I can say growth occurs. Mm-hmm. And without going through the process, so it's harder to grow. Let me say that. So I embrace the process. Mm-hmm. And understanding the process that you're going through, mm-hmm. and learn through that process. Don't try to skip anything or any steps. Mm-hmm. Just go through the process, and every step of the way, learn through struggle, understand, and at the end, when you come out of it, that's when you experience your growth, and you can quantify that.
Oh, you can quantify that?
Yeah, you can quantify that because when you go through the process, you will know exactly, when you come out of that, you will know exactly what happened and what did you do. And at the end, you have a tangible result. It's not tangible, but you can really quantify that in a sense of if you see someone else is going through the same process, you can give a valuable advice to that person, and that person also will be thankful. So that's where I also mentioned in the book as well, the power of having a mentor. So I have a mentor.
No, we're looking at each other because we talk about this all the time.
In my personal life, I have a mentor. In my professional career, I have a mentor. So in every step of the way, basically in every aspect of my life, let me say that. Every step of my life, I have a mentor in that.
Wow.
So
that you look up to.
That's I'm looking up to. So in a sense of, let's say for the book, I'm still looking for mentors. So I'm trying to understand, because those who came before me, they've gone through the process. Mm-hmm. So they know the struggle, they understand the process. And rather than me going through the same struggle that they went through, I can skip steps.
Of course.
Because they've gone through, they will give me advice. And that comes also within the work environment. At the work environment, I mentioned the book too. I have my mentors. I always pick like my directors. Not only my directors, sometimes I'll go level higher.
Way higher than your director.
Yeah, I'll go to the vice president of the organization.
Wow.
So I will talk to them. So that helps in a sense of just you understand what's going on at the higher level. You understand it. And then when you apply it to your level as an associate, you not only sharpen your skill, not only focus on what really matters, and also the good thing about it is just that you will deliver value to the organization that you're working on. And that's where you become you may become a friend to your manager as well, because when you understand what's going on up there, and that
you become one of them.
You understand what the senior level are working on, what their struggle, what they're trying to accomplish. And then because in a corporations, the way it works is just you have the C level. They have idea how to guide the organization, how to lead the organization. So they come up with the idea, the strategy, and they trickle down to the senior, to the managers and so forth, and to the associate. So by the time that you arrive there, you already have the insight. You already have the insight.
Are you writing this now? Yeah. Because I know you're going to do it tomorrow. I know you're good students.
So what are your sources of inspiration? Or if I could say it, Do you have any reference, any author that has inspired you writing this book or working as a writer?
I read a lot of how-to books, and I read about a lot of leadership books, and also John Maxwell. I can say that, and one of my mentors also. I mentioned in the book also. What he does, he gives me books to read. So he will give me like two books and say, take this book and I need it back within 2 weeks. So I'll go in and read the book and understand everything. And then when I finish, we go back and discuss about the book and talk about the book and all that. And then I give the lesson learned and what did I capture out of that book. So. And that has helped me to advance in life, understand what other people are thinking, and that has broadened my horizon. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
This is maybe, I'm sorry, but it must be a stupid question.
There's no stupid
how
question.
to define yourself? Is it different for a woman or a man perspective, or same thing?
No, it's the same thing.
Got you.
Yes, it's the same thing.
Got
yes.
you. Yeah, it's the same thing.
So it's just as a human, you have to define yourself.
To define yourself.
Yes.
Got you. Thank you so much. Stay with us, Gideon. We'll listen to this song and we'll come back to say goodbye.
Sure.
All my ladies.
You're listening to the RM Show of VOA Africa. We are landing back to Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Gideon Saidi, this is great, and we want to thank you. We know you're coming from far. You drove really far, yes. Almost an hour to come to where we are, and you made it on time. Thank you so much for doing that.
Anytime.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but really, we can't thank you enough. We thank our guests, especially when they have to come from far, and not only to come to participate in the show, but to really feed us and educate us about how to define. I personally, I don't know about George, but I know that I've learned a lot.
I define myself.
And I need to learn. But remember what the teacher said. Keep on defining yourself.
Yes.
Right? Every day, keep on dreaming. So
last question in one word.
Yeah.
If I take you to a remote village in Africa, what will be the best gift you give to a student? Money, book, or a speech?
Oh.
Okay, next
That's a
time
good question.
I didn't get
I think learning is one of the things.
Learning is the only way.
Learning is one thing.
Learning is the only way.
Yes. Yeah.
But thank you so much. And you said the book, we can get it on Amazon.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
The book is available
We appreciate
on
it.
Amazon.
We'll keep on reading the book and we keep following also
Great.
everything you do.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much to Michelle Joseph. Thank you to Nelson, Nick. Thank you so much for you guys. You guys helping us out to produce this show. We are leaving the RM Show right now. We can only say God bless. Peace, Africa.